News, a bombshell has been dropped in the race for governor.
Yeah, so today, Republican candidate Erin Stewart, she endorsed a running mate, but at the same time, there were accusations of illegal record keeping when she was the mayor of New Britain.
Now, your chief political reporter, Susan Raff, is live at the state capitol to break down the claims and what Stewart has to say about it. Susan?
Kara, all of this happened very suddenly. In fact, today, just minutes into her speech, as Erin Stewart was announcing her choice for lieutenant governor, all of a sudden this report was released by the current mayor of New Britain. Now, this has everyone trying to figure out exactly what does it all mean and was anything criminal done. Erin Stewart was in Coventry on Wednesday, where she announced her choice for lieutenant governor. She's endorsing Tim Ackert, a 16-year state representative and small business owner. But within minutes, the news shifted. New Britain's current mayor, Bobby Sanchez, suddenly released a report which accuses Stewart's administration of improperly handling city finances. The independent report claims there was a long-running practice of backdating delinquent tax payments, that taxpayers did not get charged legally required interest, and dates were changed, tied to delinquent payments for real estate, motor vehicle, and water taxes, and that cash receipts were mishandled and left unsecured. The report also claims all of this was done either at the mayor's direction or with her knowledge. I was the first to ask Stewart about these allegations.
Clearly it's political in nature if we're releasing this at the same exact time that we're having this press conference and the press corps happens to be here. So I find that really funny that Ned Lamont and Susan Bisowitz are so worried about me and my team that they'll have their minions put things out like that or attempt to do that to muddy the waters.
But these allegations are serious. In fact, we are told the report is now being sent to the chief state's attorney's office. And coming up on Eyewitness News at 5, you'll hear reaction from the other candidates in the race, plus from Governor Lamont on what should happen next. Your chief political reporter, Susan Raff, Channel 3, live at the state capitol tonight.
Nice job, Susan. Thank you very much.